What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the 10 Horse Mining YouTube channel. Just dropped the boat and it is a beautiful day. You know, like high 70s, the wind is blowing, had a little cold front push through. We're in the middle of the day, it's noon. Typical late time getting on the water. I don't know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go out there and try to figure something out. This is the time of year where the shad kind of start moving. You know, late August, you see that migration of shad. It happens a little bit earlier than most people think, and if you can figure out what's going on, you can really find some fish that are starting to feed up, getting ready for the fall and the winter. It can be really tough. Most likely it's going to be tough, but I am going to kind of idle around and look at some stuff just to see. I haven't been on the lake for quite a while, this lake at least, and I want to see if any changes are taking place. The grass is starting to top out a little bit, so I will kind of idle around, look for some fresh grass. Maybe there's a frog bite, punch and bite stuff, but we're going to mix it up. If we find some kind of technique, we'll definitely expand on it. So here we go.
That fish are pulling away from me. There we go. I'll punch the fish. Man, that's a cool bite. Just pulling it out of the grass to make another flip. And she just jacked it. She tried to pull the rod out of my hand. There we go. Little grass bass. Starting to see some bait in the grass. And punching and punching and punching, that's the way it is. You just cover a lot of grass and finally get a bite. That's a pretty good fish. Good, solid fish. There's all your bait fish. These are bass right here. You see them on the 2D or the down scan. Go. Stupid tube, stupid fish. Found one. Right. Hello, guy.
All right, we're out here just fishing kind of some rocky, bluffy stuff, main lake section. I'll show you what I'm keying on here. I'm just throwing that stupid tube. It's really slow. You're having to really finesse the fish during a bad mood. You know, full bluebird skies. Cold front, winds blowing out of the north, and I'll show you what kind of targeting here. It's got a little bit of a rough patch right here. You can see those shad right there, and then as you pan out, you can see some smaller fish kind of working this little area. I'm just kind of going down this bank using the forward facing sonar to just cast towards that kind of stuff. And there's some little pieces of brush right there. See, those are fish. Some fish just kind of using the bottom of this area. There's some more bait, brush pile, just fishing real slow, just kind of sneaking down this bank. Let's see if we can pick up a fish.
See this rock? It's either stump, brush pile, rock, or something, but there's a secondary point, and there's a little drop off right here. It's a little hard section right here. There's a few fish swimming around there. That's what we're casting at right now. All right, folks, I'll show you how to rig up the old stupid tube. Great finesse bait that works any time of the year. You know, we're targeting this kind of rocky stuff, and these fish are feeding a lot on bluegill. So anytime you got bluegill and crawfish involved, this little stupid tube is excellent. This is what the jig head looks like. A little bit tricky to find these jig heads. I got a buddy that pours these. There are a few out there that you can buy. You'll just have to try some. Make sure that you open up this hook. A lot of them will have the hook kind of pointed back in towards the lead. You want to open that up, open that gap up, so the hook point penetrates the roof of the mouth of the fish. So hold the tube vertical like this, and you kind of spread out these tentacles. And then I'm going to moisten it. Put a little bit of spit in there, and then take the hook point and run it down in there. You're going right down the cavity. You're not threading it in the wall or anything. You're just trying to get it all the way up towards the top. Now you're going to get it about right here. You want to leave about 1/4 of an inch between the hook point and the front of that tube, and that's going to allow room for your jig head to get in there. So you're going to bring it out like that right there. See the hook point? Keep the tentacles up to the top. That'll keep, what you won't want to do is you don't want these tentacles to go down inside of the tube. That's going to make it look kind of funky. So hold it upright like this as much as possible. And get to this point right here, and we're going to slide the jig head inside of the tube. Just kind of keep working it like that. I moistened it so it'll slide in there good. Get to this point right here, and you're just going to take your 2 fingers and just push, and the line tie is going to pop out. Now you're just going to Texas rig this. Just come in just like this, and there you go. That's all there is to it. I didn't quite get that eye through there. There we go, the eye's through there. And then I'm just going to text pose it. I'm just going to kind of push that hook point up in that tube, and that is it right there. This is a crocodile tube. This is one of their new colors. It's green pumpkin. It's got some blue. I think it's green pumpkin blue, green pumpkin purple. I'm not really sure. And I will take the spike it marker, chartreuse spike it marker, and I've been kind of hitting the tips, hitting the tentacles of this thing. And I'm just fishing it on a 7-foot medium heavy rod, 15-pound test. I'm just taking my tube here, and I got this spike it marker pin and just chartreuse. I'm just kind of going like this. I'm just kind of touching it. Just touch these tentacles a little bit. It gives it a little bit of scent and just a little bit of contrast. That's all I'm doing. It's already got the blue, so I got blue. It looks real bluegillish. Look at that. It looks real bluegillish. Got that chartreuse, the blue and green pumpkin all mixed in together. Scrumptious. Fish on that stupid tube, something a little bit different. Summertime stupid tube fishing. All right, they're getting bigger. There you go, folks. Just a little crocodile tube on a 3/16 jig head, 7-foot medium heavy Falcon Cara rod, 15-pound test. Just working this kind of rocky stuff. Just kind of easing along. Got a nice breeze, full sunshine. And the fish are in a funk. We're in the middle of the day. The fish are just not wanting to bite. But I'm able to drag this tube really slow and pick up a few bites. So we're going to keep doing this for a little bit. So we're just fishing this bluffy type stuff. And this stupid tube, you just make that cast out there. Let it go down. It's light. You know, this is a 3/16 tube. So the whole package weighs, I don't know, less than a half an ounce. It's definitely a finesse presentation. 12 to 15-pound test, and you just kind of let it fall. Just kind of pick up on your slack and just kind of pull it and just shake it a little bit. A lot of times you do not feel the bite. It just kind of gets light, and you'll see your line kind of move off. So you always got to be watching your line. You're not going to get a big thump bite most of the time. It's just going to be it's kind of like a shaky head. It just goes light and the fish start moving off. So just work it kind of like a jig, like a shaky head. Anything you'd be working on the bottom, just give it some little short shakes. And as you're pulling it to you over the cover, that tube has a tendency to stand up and it kind of flares out. And a lot of times that's when you're going to get your bite. So really pay attention to that and just keep contact with that line. It's finesse. You know, it's a really finessey presentation. There might be a bite right there. It's feeling good. Some pretty rough stuff down there. One of the unique things about rigging a tube and the stupid tube jig head is the way it comes across the bottom. This little plastic, you know, you got plastic body, plastic tube. When it hits a rock, it has a tendency to stick and come up like this, and the little tentacles, they kind of go vertical, and it looks kind of like a crawfish in the defensive posture. If the bait was just Texas rig, it has a tendency to just kind of slide over, so you don't get that upright position. Guys that are fishing out the back of the boat, this is a very good bait. If your boater is throwing a jig, you can throw this stupid tube behind them. I've done it many times, and pick up fish that won't bite the jig. Sometimes the jig's better, sometimes the stupid tube is better. You just kind of got to play around and see which one's working that day. But I do know that if the guy in the front of the boat is throwing a jig, it's a good idea to rig up a stupid tube. You're gonna pick up some bites behind them. I got this boat in like 19 to 20, just working down this rock bank here. Just hard stuff. Occasionally there'll be some wood. Got the boat set in like 18 to 19, just kind of working down this rocky bank. And it's just hard, rough stuff. Occasionally there'll be a piece of wood or something, but for the most part we're just fishing rocks. Fish is hot, boy. These fish, he ate it. There we go. All right, folks. Stupid tube, stupid fish. Thank God I needed stupid fish today. It was tough, slow. It's kind of how it is in the summertime, you know, where the dog days of summer. Get out there and fish and have fun and just hope you get a few bites. Sometimes it's super, super tough. We managed to get a few bites today. The stupid tube was the deal. This is a 4-inch tube by Crocagator, and I switched up to the green pumpkin, kind of purplish, I think. But nice way to end the show. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Doing live streams on Monday nights at 7:30 Central, and I'm dropping content on Wednesdays and Fridays. Thanks for coming along. Go try this. It's a fun little bait. It's kind of finessey. It's something a little bit different. Anytime you think the fish are feeding on crawfish or bluegill, a stupid tube can put a few fish in the boat. Till next time.